She looks at you like she wants you. Her eyes stay a little too long. Her smile is soft but calculated. Then suddenly she pulls back. Her messages become shorter, her gaze more distant. You feel confusion growing inside you. But it's not confusion, it's conditioning. Freud believed that human desire isn't simply a response to what we want, but what we're denied. The female mind, in Freud's view, was a battlefield of paradox, soft and loving on the surface, yet cold and distant beneath. He didn't call it manipulation. He called it protection. What if the woman isn't trying to hurt you, but test you? What if she's not playing hard to get? She's just following a subconscious pattern passed down for generations. According to Freud, the female psyche is shaped by early emotional wounds, rejections, inconsistencies, betrayals from childhood. These wounds don't heal. They build systems. Systems of testing, withdrawing, pushing away. And the irony? The more you chase her, the more power she feels she has. You think you're choosing her, but in reality, she chose when you'd chase, when you'd beg, when you'd suffer. The illusion of control becomes a cage. What Freud called the conflict between desire and morality lives strongest in female psychology. She wants closeness, but fears it. She wants to be seen, but hides herself. She invites you in, only to push you away. And this isn't madness, it's a code. Freud didn't believe that adult behavior arises from adulthood. He believed it was a replay of childhood wounds, on repeat, especially in the female mind, where emotions and survival were often intertwined from the start. If a girl was praised when silent, but shamed when expressive, she grows up associating silence with safety. If her affection was ignored, she learns to retreat, to be desired. Her femininity becomes not just an identity, but a tool for negotiation, a power source. This is why many women test men, not to play games, but to confirm patterns of trust and betrayal. When she flirts and then turns cold, it's not always manipulation, it's a reflex from emotional trauma. You are not meeting the woman, you're meeting the wound, dressed in charm. Freud saw seduction not as a conscious plan, but as a reenactment. A woman seduces the way a child reaches for affection, then recoils, afraid to be burned again. So when she pulls back after pulling you in, she isn't evil, she's afraid. Most men misread this. They either chase harder, which reinforces her fear, or shut down emotionally, which reinforces her belief that no man is safe. So the question isn't, why does she pull away? The question is, what pain trained her to do so? Freud mapped this with surgical precision. He called it repetition compulsion, the subconscious tendency to recreate past trauma in current relationships, hoping this time it'll end differently. But it doesn't, because most men don't have the map. She doesn't want peace, she wants power. This is not about domination, but survival. Freud believed that in every emotional dynamic, especially romantic ones, the unconscious mind seeks to recreate its first lessons. For many women, those lessons came wrapped in pain, distance, unpredictability. So calmness feels like weakness, and chaos feels like control. Why do some women pull away when loved, but chase those who ignore them? Freud's answer: power. Not dominance through strength, but influence through vulnerability. When a woman senses that she can affect a man's emotions, make him doubt, chase, apologize, she feels safe, in control. This isn't manipulation in the malicious sense. It's psychological calibration. The unconscious seeks a balance where the woman is not the object, but the subject, the one with the leverage. In Freud's writings, he noted that the female psyche doesn't crave peace. It craves a rhythm of emotional charge. Predictability kills attraction. Why? Because in childhood, unpredictability equaled attention. If love came only when she cried or misbehaved, her brain learned chaos equals connection. So now, as a woman, she unconsciously recreates it. When things are too calm, she pushes. When you're too kind, she tests. When you're steady, she stirs the waters, not because she wants to lose you, but because stillness scares her. Men misread this constantly. They either try to be even nicer, which bores her, or become angry, which confirms her fear. Either way, the loop continues. To break it, a man must not react, he must understand. Because power is not what she says she wants, it's what she unconsciously creates. What you see isn't what you get. The softness in her voice, the gentleness of her gaze, the warmth in her smile, it's all real. But it's not all there is. Freud believed that femininity is a carefully constructed mask, not a lie, a strategy. One that women often aren't even aware they're using. Behind that mask lies the architecture of survival. As a child, she may have learned that vulnerability is dangerous, that expressing anger makes her undesirable, that being too smart, too strong, too loud pushes people away. So she adapts. She becomes charming, agreeable, sweet. But charm isn't innocence, it's armor. Freud saw that the female psyche often develops a public self and a private self. The public self is what society loves, the smiling, nurturing, forgiving woman. But the private self? That's where the fear, control, rage, and intellect live. A woman may not even show you her private self until she's sure she can break you with it. This doesn't mean she's evil. It means she's layered. And men who don't understand this mistake surface-level warmth for openness. They fall for the mask, and when the deeper side emerges, when she gets cold, sharp, distant, they feel betrayed. But it wasn't betrayal. It was revelation. To understand women, Freud argued, a man must learn to read not just words, but absences, not just expressions, but silences. The female mind doesn't reveal itself like a map. It unfolds like a maze. And the deeper you go, the more you realize you were never in control. You think you're choosing her. You think your love is a free offering, a decision of your own will. But what if she orchestrated the moment you noticed her? What if her silence, her distance, her warmth were all invisible levers, pulling you deeper without a word? Freud suggested that love, as we experience it, is rarely a conscious act. It's more often a collision of needs, wounds, and unspoken scripts. And in the female psyche, these scripts are often older, sharper, and more rehearsed. Why does she test your loyalty just when you're most open? Why does she push away just when you lean in? It's because control is safer than closeness. When a woman pulls back emotionally, she's not always trying to punish you. She's trying to create space, emotional space, where she can breathe, observe, and decide. In that gap, she's watching not what you say, but how you react. Do you panic? Do you chase? Do you collapse? These responses give her the data she needs, not about you, but about your power dynamic. Who's guiding the connection? Who holds the leash? Freud noted that love becomes dangerous when it's entangled with past fear. A woman might crave connection, but only if she doesn't feel owned by it. So she gives you a taste of intimacy, then withdraws, not to torture you, but to confirm her independence. You feel rejected, but she feels safe. This is the paradox. You love her because you think you chose her, but she made you believe that. She let you fall. And now, the deeper you go, the more you realize you never had a choice. He doesn't want to control you. She wants to confirm something, that you're real, that you're strong enough, that you won't run. But deep down, she's not testing you. She's testing the memory, the wound, the ghost of a father who left, the silence of a mother who watched, the boy who laughed and walked away. You think you're in a relationship with her. You're not. You're in a relationship with her past. Freud believed the unconscious is timeless. The mind doesn't know that the pain happened 15 years ago. It feels like it's happening now. So she reacts not to what you did, but what someone else once did. She's not responding to your words, but to old echoes. And here's the terrifying part. The more she cares about you, the deeper this reaction goes. Love doesn't heal the wound, it exposes it. That's why she flinches when you say you'll never leave. Why she questions your loyalty right after a moment of intimacy. Why she picks a fight after you give her your heart. It's not self-sabotage, it's self-protection. The logic is simple. Hurt him before he hurts me. Push him away before he disappears. Pull back before she's left behind. And you? You're trying to love her. But what you're really doing is stepping into a minefield with no map. You think love will fix her, but love isn't the cure. Understanding is. And yet, most men never get this far. Most give up, because no one told them that loving her means loving the part of her that believes love is a threat. So what now? Now that you've seen the patterns, the silence that isn't distance, but protection, the coldness that isn't rejection, but fear, the games that aren't games, but defense mechanisms from old pain. Most men walk away at this point, confused, angry, tired. They call her toxic, broken, manipulative, but they never saw the map. They never knew the code, but you did. You stayed, you watched, you listened, and now you see it. She doesn't need you to fix her. She needs you to see her, to not flinch when she tests you, to not chase when she pulls away, but also not abandon her, to stand still, calm, unshaken, so she can finally feel safe. But here's the truth no one tells you. You can't save her. Not with love, not with logic. You can only save yourself from misreading her pain, from reacting blindly, from becoming just another man who leaves when things get dark. But if you've come this far, if something inside you resonated with this, then this space is for you. Every week, we decode the parts of the mind no one talks about. The manipulations, the wounds, the invisible power games, the truths behind love, control, trust. Subscribe now. Not because I told you to, but because now you finally know. This isn't a relationship, it's a revelation. There's a truth she'll never say out loud. Not because she's hiding it, but because even she doesn't fully know it. She wants love, but she fears what love does. She wants honesty, but she's trained to question it. She wants safety, but she learned that safety comes only after struggle, after doubt, after distance. So she'll push you away, just to see if you come back. She'll test your loyalty. Just to feel a moment of power, she'll freeze. Just to feel in control. And she'll hate herself for all of it. Because no woman wants to play these games. They just never learned another way. Freud didn't judge them. He studied them. He saw that the female mind isn't wicked, it's wounded. And through that wound, it built armor made of softness, silence, seduction, and mystery. You thought she was chaos. But really, she was strategy wrapped in scars. You thought she was testing your love. But really, she was testing your endurance. Not because she didn't want you, but because she needed to know if you could handle the part of her that no one else stayed long enough to see. That's the truth she'll never tell you. But now, you don't need her to say it. You've already seen it.